What is going on, everybody? Let me fix this camera for you here. It is Friday the 13th, around 1:30 p.m. And boom, I did it. I know I said I was done trading for the week, but this was just a great opportunity and I had to capitalize on it. I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting this to maybe test 450, the high of day, and maybe get a nice little bounce on it or break a little bit above that, but I was not expecting this to explode like it did, and this is what makes Fridays special. Short squeezes happen, and the past 2 weeks now on Friday, we've seen companies come out with press releases on Friday that are really good, and the stocks have been taken off. So this is why patience pays. I made $371 right here on this move. And I wasn't when this exploded like this, it caught me by surprise on how fast it just exploded. Um, I'll show it right here for you guys so you could see. $371, and I made that in 10 minutes, which puts me up. I traded Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm up in profit $871 on the week. And I said on Wednesday I was done trading for the week because I didn't like the way the market conditions were looking. And this just goes, this is what we need. We need moves like this to show strength in the market and bring, strength and volume back into the market. I normally don't trade on Fridays because, one, there's really no volume in the market, but you have to keep an eye on the market on Fridays. You have to, because anything can happen. Shorts don't like to hold over the weekend. A lot short squeezes like this can happen, which causes this big boom right here. This moved literally uh, 70 cents in like 2 minutes, and it happened so fast. And right before this happened, I seen a huge seller in here for 13,000 shares here on the time and sales. I don't know if he was selling or if he was going short, but it caused this big boom right here. So let's go over it. I was keeping an eye on two stocks when I was watching throughout the day. I was keeping an eye on Pixie because of the news with Walmart and they came out with news. Uh, let's see. A video was posted by the company last night highlighting app integration with Walmart. Now, Walmart is a big company, and whenever you have, that's a key word. Uh, Integration with Walmart, and it's going to have a lot of attention from traders. And not too long ago, PIXY had a nice move not too long ago, and traders remember stocks that have big moves. I'll pull up the daily chart right here. And as you can see, this is the daily. Let me get myself out. Well, you can see it up here. So back around March, April, March and April, this had two big moves right here. And I remember it had really good news. And it went from $3 to 450. And then the next day after that, it went from 425 to 635. That move right here. And then it had a nice bounce move right here. I can't remember if it had news, but when a stock goes supernova and has a big move like this, it will happen again. History repeats itself. And when stocks have big moves like this, traders remember that. They really do. They remember stocks that have big moves. That way, when it pops up again, they say, oh, yeah, this stock ran $3 3 months ago. Yeah, that stock went crazy. And it's important to look at the volume, too. So on these 2 days, the first green day right here on January, February, March 8th, it had 9 million in volume. and then 2 days later it had 19 million in volume. Now I was keeping an eye on this today, and this was approaching around 20 million in volume. That day it went, pull this up here again. This is the daily chart up here. The day it went from 418 to 635. If you see it right below there, it's 19 million in volume. It's going to show up right here. That day it had 19 million in volume. So with this having great news on a Friday, come approaching noon, it was approaching the volume high of that big move. And yes, it already made a move up today, even pre-market. Let me zoom out. I don't know why my chart's acting like that. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Alright. So if you see here, it had a good gap up from the previous day. It was trading at around 275. It opened up today up $1. So it gapped up, and then it sold off from people taking profits. U-shaped around, had a nice morning spike from there up to a high of 425, and then pulls back, has another U-shape, breaks out again, and then it pulls back, and then it consolidates right here for the lunch hours. And as you can see, it's consolidating. It kept bouncing off the VWAP right here. This orange line that I have up is the VWAP. So it just kept bouncing off of this. Yeah, it was making lower highs, but I seen it kept having support right here at around $4. So I even jumped the gun a little early on this, but I didn't think I would get another chance if this was gonna start to get going. And if anything, like I said, I was looking to play maybe the test of the high here at 450. So I have the 5-minute up here as well. It's just a lot that went on this, and it's crazy. So let me pull this back up. This is why it's good to look at different time frames. So this is the 5-minute right here. This is the 5-minute chart right here. And as you can see, I'll put a line here at $4. And then I'll put another line here right at 450. And as you can see, it kept making lower highs. And what it's forming there is a wedge. And it was very, very quiet during this time. And remember, this is the 5-minute chart. You wouldn't really get to see this on a 1-minute chart. So let me pull up the 1-minute here before this move. So yeah, you can see it because I have it drawn out, but you could see there's a lot more static in this picture right here because it's just all these bars that are popped up right now. But you can clearly see it's making a wedge. Now, remember, this is the 1-minute here, forming a wedge, compared to the 5-minute right here, making a wedge. Now, you see how much more smaller and simpler that is compared to a big move up, big move down, big move up. It just paints a better picture for you with this time frame. So that's why it's always good to look at different time frames, and why I have all these time frames up on one stock. I have the 1-minute, then I'm usually right next to it I have the 2-minute, then over on my other screen here I have the 5-minute. I'll do a 30-minute chart, and then I'll do a daily chart of the past 3 months, and then the bottom one is the whole year that I'll look at. So like I said, this was This was very, very quiet, and I knew something big was about to happen. It has great news with it. And the weird thing is, like I said here on the time and sales, when I was watching this, I seen an order in here that popped up red. So someone sold. It was 13,000 shares of this. I don't know if they went short or I don't know if they sold. I was thinking if they would have sold, it would have dropped off, but it didn't. And it kept hanging around the highs right here. And then it was just quiet, and a couple orders were going in consistently, and then just out of nowhere, this thing just right up here, just really, really quiet, like I said, and then just boom from 430, it shoots all the way up to 497. I'm like, whoa! So I hurry up and I come over here and I immediately sell half my size. I bought 650 shares right here at 430, and it before this big move, it was making a U shape right here. Um, I was anticipating it to break this U shape right here and run up and maybe test 450, and that's when I was probably going to sell half my position and test the other half. But this thing, like I said, it just exploded, and when it exploded up, it caught me so off guard. I sold half my position, and as you can see, these two red candles right here, when it was pulling back, I was trying so hard to hold on to it, but after seeing how much I was up in profit and how much this moved, I just didn't want it to dump right back down on me. Um, you don't ever want to get greedy in the market, and I tried. This happens to me all the time. As soon as I see profit, I just take it and I either sell half my position and try to let the other half run. And it's just so hard to do that with the emotions in it and everything, because once you're up in profit, you don't want to see your winners turn into losers. And this did pop up popped up to 510 when I was still holding my other half. And I just got really, really greedy. Like I expected it to keep going infinity, and that's not going to happen. You just have to be uh, smart about it and sell into the pops. Sell into strength, not into weakness. Because if you sell into weakness, then you're going to get a lower price than what you're selling at, unless you do a limit order. But after I sold 125 at 496, and then I had 200 left, and I said, come on, and I just couldn't do it. So I sold my remaining 200 shares at 490, and then right after that, it pops up to a high of 525, and then this thing just kept going, and it made a new high here at 538, and as you can see now, it's taking a dump, but it's playing around here in this $5 area. And like I said, we need this right now to show strength, that strength is still in the market to bring back the volume and keep the volume here. But yeah, $371 all within 1240, all within 15 minutes. And that puts me up on the week just up over $871. So really good week. 3 trades, 3 green trades. Perfect. Perfect way to end the week. The other stock I was looking at was CEI. Now CEI here has good news too. This has a press release this morning that the company announced its execution of asset purchase agreement that will extinguish all of the company's existing bank debt. Now that's really good. A company's getting out of debt. So this had a really good move here this morning, gapping up, and then right at the open, not wasting any time and just running from 49 cents all the way up to 68 cents. That's a really good move, all within 3 minutes too. But I don't like to excuse me. I don't like to play morning opens like that. I at least like to wait at least 15 minutes after the market open to have a better risk versus reward, because you don't know what's going to happen right at the open. That's a gamble right there. But that was a really good 20-cent move up, and buying 10,000 shares, every penny is $100. That's excuse my language. It's just these explosive moves that just get me excited and round up. All this potential to make money. But you gotta be smart with it. But I was watching this into the afternoon. As you can see, it was forming a wedge right here up. And I was looking for it to break the high of this wedge right here at 63 cents. And it kept coming right up to it. Right up to it. And as you can see, it touched here. It touched here. And then it comes back up. And I'm watching the level 2. And as soon as it was touching this line right here, just a bunch of huge sellers popped up right here on the ask. I said, no, this isn't going anywhere. There was big block sellers on here. I think there was around 30,000 shares that were popped up here, and they weren't getting chipped away, and they were just sitting there. So I said, all right, there's a huge seller right here at 63 cents that is hiding his size, and he's selling way more than what he's presenting. But as you can see, look what it did. It broke out of the wedge right after it couldn't break that 63. Comes right back up. It couldn't even touch the wedge again. And then it just fell off. So that was CEI. And Pixie's still in play. Like I said, it's still bouncing off this $5 area right here. And it's got great news going with it. And like I said, traders remember these stocks when they make moves like this. Not too long ago, this was going crazy on news, and look what it's doing now. And like I said, normally I don't trade on Fridays, but if something big like this happens, then yeah, I'll go for it. Especially if it has really, really good news, which this company does. I think that's all I wanted to go over today. Other than that, it's been a pretty slow day in the market. I mean, BIOC, it's a little too high priced for me right now, but this also had a big move as well. Continuation from yesterday. So this has been green now for 3 days in a row. And I'd say it's late right now to want to try and get in on this, because it's been green 3 days in a row and it needs a pullback. And there is news out on it, but look at this. Opens here today at $8, and right now it's hitting a high of $12. A $4 move up today. That's really good. That we need to see moves like this to show strength in the market. That's what we want. We want strength. And as you can see, once again right here, the stock opens up and it sells off and it washes out. And then it comes back up and makes a U shape and breaks out from $8 to $9.84. That's a big move. Pulls back and then it keeps going. I didn't have my eyes on BIOC today. I just kept glancing at it whenever it made a new high. Like I said, it was kind of out of my price range. I like to play stocks, you know, 25 cents to around $5. That's my price range. But I mean, you can still make profit on this even if you're buying a couple hundred shares, you know. So BIOC, PIXY, and CEI. Those were the 3 hot stocks today. Happy Friday the 13th. Just thought I'd make a quick video for you guys real quick to go over my trade and study these patterns. So over the weekend, study what CEI, BIOC, and PIXY did. Study the pattern that it went into and how it got to where it did. Look at different time frames. The 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, the daily. Also another thing, with CEI back, I think it was just over 2 weeks ago when it had its big move. It went from the first day it went from 25 cents to 65 cents, and then the second day it went from 77 cents to $1.80. I'll show you something here. If I can get this screen over here. So, if you look back at the 2 days in history on the daily that it did run, look at the volume. The first green day it had, or after this small first one right here. So, technically the second one, it had 23 million in volume. And then the third day here, it had 84 million in volume. 84 million. When it made this move right here from 75 cents to $1.80. All right. Now, if you look at today, it's only traded 32 million in volume. So this 32 million here compared to 84 million and the 23 million, it's not going to have enough strength to push up and break up to new highs, because this is clearly showing in the history that it needs volume, a lot of volume to move. And this day right here when it had 23 million in volume, and you're looking at today when it's got 32 million and it's moved this much, you gotta think it's already made its move. So, and then right here when it had that big dollar move, 84 million, it needs 50 million more in volume to even think about making a move like that. And we're already at near the end of the day. So just something to think about. There's always all kinds of stuff to put into that factor before you're about to trade a stock. That's why it's always good to study. The more you do it, the faster you will become at analyzing these charts and putting putting everything that you've learned into place when you're looking at a stock. And the more you do it, the faster you will get at it. I know when you first start out, you know, you're freaking out because you don't know what you're looking at. There's too much stuff going on, but if you do it every single day and just keep at it for a whole year straight, you're gonna get really, really good at it. And you're gonna be analyzing charts like nothing. You're gonna pull up a chart and you're gonna just glance and look real quick, like, oh, I don't see nothing. Pull up another one, and it's just right when you study something and practice something for so long, you start to burn memory into your brain, and you start to develop routines and stuff you like to look for, and stuff from the past that you've noticed works more than other things, and you start putting it all together. And that's why it's important to study over the weekends and develop a game plan. That way when you run through these charts, you'll notice you'll know right away what you're what to look at, and if anything catches your eye. You'll be like, all right, I like this one. This has got a good setup. It's got good news. It's got strong volume. It's forming a pattern right here. Boom. Let's get it. So, study this weekend. Go over, like I said, CEI, PIXY, BIOC. Don't make huge watch lists with like 20 tickers on a watch list. That's just way too many stocks to look at. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Just make it a handful of stocks like this. I was only looking at 3 stocks today. BIOC, PIXY, CEI. That's it. Only 3 of them. And it gives you enough time to just go back and look at something and observe it for a minute. Pull up another one, observe it for a minute. And also, you can pull them up side by side like I have right here. I had Pixie on this one, and then I had CEI on this one. And this is the 2 minute and 1 minute. And I was just observing them side by side and just seeing what the patterns they were setting up. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with all these stocks. And if you miss something, so what? So what? Learn from it and move on. You're not going to catch every single move. So if you miss something, learn from it, take a picture, save it, study that chart, and then you'll be prepared for when the next time another ticker pops off and takes off. Alright guys, have a good weekend. I'll try to make another video this weekend, and study, study, study. You will get there. Keep it up, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and like I said, it just shows that the material I'm making is you guys like it, and I'm here for you guys. So if you ever have a question, feel free to ask. Later guys, have a good weekend.